Going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of A Day in Life. This your boy Bonnet Man Baje here.
This your boy JP. This your boy JP.
You already know. And we got a special guest coming straight out of Bahamas. One of my great friends from college. Somebody that I really looked up to when I first got into college. All the way from Bahamas. Mr. Lightbourne. What's going on, Q?
What's up, man? It's good, man. It's good to be here, man. You know, I always used to call you Baje, so, it's good to be here. Definitely, I like what you're doing, man. Keep it up, man, and inspire and enlighten the people.
Yes, bro, because I feel like, people got a story to share and to tell. Like everybody's going through something right now. It's a big pandemic and every country is different. Like we had somebody from Barbados, we had somebody from Jamaica, and now being that you're in the Bahamas and, Bahamas is a completely different place that we know only as one of the big hubs of tourism. So I was like, you know what? If I could get somebody from Bahamas on here, I'd be very appreciative. But just to get started, like, how are you and your family doing personally?
Me and my family, everyone's doing good, man. We doing great down here. I mean, other than what's been going on, man, my family, everything's going good. Career, everything has been doing good, man. I think the key is just staying involved, staying active. I always had a special place in my heart for the Caribbean. So, I've been to I've been to countless Caribbean islands. I've been in Jamaica, I've been to Barbados, I've been DR, I've been Anguilla, I've been St. Martin. So I've been around. So for me, I love the island. So for me, it's all about trying to see. And for us in the Bahamas, tourism is our big thing. And it was, I think, last week that our Prime Minister decided to shut down everything. No airports are closed. No cruise ships are allowed in port, everything. And so for us, the Bahamas, almost 50% of our GDP, of our national income and how much we earn and make is directed to tourism. And so here in the Bahamas, we've had a situation where we had to lay off, like Atlantis. You all heard about Atlantis, the hotel, right? Atlantis sent out a memo about 2 weeks ago. They advised all staff that they're closing initially for a month. They sent everyone home. That's over 5,000 Bahamians just go home. So we are in a situation where you have countless Bahamians now out of a job. Nothing to do, no tourists coming in, nothing to do. And the reality is, coming from most people in the Caribbean, a financial situation ain't good if you ain't working. So it's hard for few persons that trying to wait, that trying to get something. And so it's getting bad financially, but we trying to keep the faith. Down here, we have a high mortality rate for such a small country because we have 41 people that was tested positive for COVID-19 and we've had 8 deaths. So, 20%. So it's pretty bad, but I think a lot more persons have to get tested. And that's the thing. Most Caribbean people, if y'all see those tests, you see that test, you got to stick it way up your nose and whatever. A lot of persons, that's the last resort for them, especially there's no medicine or whatever they advise. And we have over 300 persons that are in self-quarantine in the Bahamas. So either in their homes or we have a designated hospital facility where if you get in critical condition or ICU, we have a center right there, but it's getting rough. But I think, and once we get over this curve, I think we'll be good. We implemented a full shutdown in the country, starting today until next week until Tuesday morning. Everything is shut down. Everyone has to stay inside, locked down. Only essential workers could go out. Police officers and the news. They're the only 2 people that could go out and roam the streets.
So that's a 4-day lockdown?
Yeah, 4 or 5 day lockdown. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I was gonna say all right. So what's about around the population in the country, the Bahamas? Because I know you say around 300 people is in self-quarantine.
Yeah. Right? So it's 300. I would say 350 to 400,000 persons live in the Bahamas.
Wow, okay. That's a big number.
So for that to be 300 people in self-quarantine, that's a good amount of population.
Yes, it's a good amount.
Damn.
Yeah, that's right. Right. And what is it exactly that you do career-wise?
Well, career-wise, I work at an investment and pension firm. Matter of fact, I work at the largest Bahamian-owned pension and investment firm. We help over $500 million assets under management. And ironically so, we hold the pension fund for all hotels in the Bahamas, which is Atlantis, Bahamas, all those resorts all over the country.
Yeah.
And so we in a situation where as a pension fund, we have a substantial amount of money, but then when no contributions are coming in, it's going to put a strain because in the Bahamas, our major industry, like I said, is tourism. Followed by banking and finance. And so if we don't, tourism is the lifeblood. If that starts to go down, then our financial sector starts to go down. Then we in a bad situation.
Right. Right.
So
I can only imagine. Yeah. And I feel like a lot of the Caribbean islands are going to be facing that because if you think about it, tourism is one of the biggest things in the Caribbean because it's so beautiful.
Right.
It's warm all the year round. A lot of people come from Americas, Europe, just to enjoy Bahamas, Jamaica, Barbados, Trinidad, you name it. Mm-hmm. When is the Bahamas have Carnival this year?
Yeah, we had our Carnival scheduled for May.
Right. So now
that's canceled.
Jamaica's is normally around Easter. So Carnival for us is done. I think it would have been this weekend or something.
Wow.
And Carnival is gone.
And Carnival always brings in people too, Carnival always brings in a lot of tourists. So you're speaking about a lot of, thousands of dollars that we're being lost just because of that. So like for personally, obviously everybody's on shutdown, but like before, were people like wearing masks and stuff and whatnot before the shutdown?
Well, the thing is, there wasn't a lot of persons. It's almost a sense of, okay, it's not going to touch us. We're fine. And for the longest, well, I wouldn't say for the longest, for like 2 or 3 days straight, there were only 4 confirmed cases. And so a lot of persons like, okay, only 4 people, that's nothing, that's no numbers or whatever. And every day we had an update, it was 4. And then it started to balloon. And then a person died, then someone else died, and then it was like, okay, then they started to take it serious. And now you see where everyone has to have a face mask. The Prime Minister said in the press conference yesterday, he said that persons aren't allowed to go in any stores without a mask. And store owners or any establishment can refuse anyone if they don't have a mask on, So that's the big thing right there. Trinidad was the luckiest Caribbean. They was able to do their carnival right before the madness. Right. So they were lucky.
Right. So like some sense, probably so then versus now. So like what was the environment was like 2 months ago, and then how the environment is like compared to now. Like so you walking down the street, you just leaving your house. What was it that's going outside like right now?
2 months ago, man, life was normal. Life was going to the beach, chilling. Just enjoying life, hanging out to a bar outside, enjoying everything was normal. Before they did this full lockdown, a week and a half ago, they did a weekend lockdown where they lock it down for a weekend just to see, right? No, I think they locked down from Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, right? Mm-hmm. They did a lockdown. The next day, Sunday, everyone bombarded the beach. Everyone was on the beach. It was chaotic. And so after that, the Prime Minister decided to close the beaches. So now the beaches are closed. Everything is closed. But now everyone is precautious. Everyone's taking the necessary measures. Yesterday, we even implemented a shopping schedule where we did your last name, so your surnames to go to the store, all the persons or whatever. We did that. And man, the lines, some persons stood on the lines for 6.5 hours just to get inside.
Wow, that precautionary measure that you guys are taking in the country though, shopping by your last names and all of that, I'm thinking that may be something that may have to be implemented here in the United States because, You know, it's really kind of like loose. You know what I mean? At that point, you feel me? So I hear you say like people, you know what I mean, start taking it much more serious. It's more so you think of them being scared, like out of fear.
Yeah, I definitely think it's them out of fear. Like, I mean, the good thing is what a lot of persons say, you know, we have a prime minister, the first prime minister that's a doctor. So he's a medical doctor. And so he's being very proactive. Like he's trying to make sure, like try to shut and stop it from being a catastrophic outbreak. You know, so like, I think it's fair. I think it's definitely settled in for a lot of people that this is a reality. And hearing and seeing the faces of persons that died is a very effective. You know, it may sound heartless, but when you send or when people could see pictures of people who they know or see, wow, this person died for an island, that strikes fear in them because they could be like, damn, I know that person.
Correct. They feel it more.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure now if you took a drone and flew it above Bahamas right now, it's just like a ghost town.
It's a ghost town. Like in the day, matter of fact, they did a drone shot. I think it was last week. It was like totally for the first time, like complete stillness and quietness in Nassau. Like I've never seen anything like this in the Bahamas.
Right. Wow. It's definitely scary, man. Just because here's why I say it's scary. We don't see an end. It's no like, okay, it's gonna be done by May. Just hold on. No, I don't see an end. And that's what's really scary about it. I'm really trying to think now, like when this does end, like how bad will it be for these islands and these countries? And then being that, what's gonna happen next? Like it's going, like you said, people flooded the beaches. So what are they gonna flood? What's gonna be the
how they gonna be the bounce back?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like the bounce back from all this.
The bounce back is very interesting because, you know, me being in the financial professional, right? It's like myself and one of my boss, pretty much we categorized it like a hurricane. And, you know, like, so the front end of the hurricane is the medical issue, you know, everyone's locking up, person's dying. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to reach the eye of the storm, which is the middle, the calm. Mm-hmm. And then the back end of the storm, the other stuff, that's the economic storm, what we got to face as a country, as countries, because the reality is I and a few others don't foresee anything, no stability in the Caribbean, honestly, until the end of this year, like looking like October, November.
Right.
Because you're looking at a situation where you have to put in new procedures now. You got to put in new travel restrictions. Countries have to do stuff. Every country is going to have a COVID protocol to make sure that, see how you doing, especially the Caribbean countries where we rely on tourism. So we can't afford just a bunch of people coming in and they're not properly tested to make sure that they don't have COVID-19. Because
that might look like, so there's a vaccine is created for this thing now. This might be like, it might be a requirement. It think like countries gonna say you need the vaccine to come to, to enter a country. Because, when they say you have to go to school, you can't go to school without certain shots.
Mm-hmm. You know, right.
Like, yo, you can't fly, you can't do this if you don't have this shot. All right, it's gonna be really life changing, man. Like,
I could definitely see that because, like, see, the country has to protect themselves and their citizens because, you know, even like last year, the Bahamas had 7 million tourists coming. 7 million came into the Bahamas in 1 year, right? So if we have to control what comes in, because if a tourist comes in with COVID, right, or a few, and we have persons that work in the hotels, they interact and talk with them, then they get sick, then they come back in their communities, and then it's a major outbreak again. So I know for a fact that Caribbean countries have to and must put in certain protocols and procedures in place, because if they don't, this thing may not ever go.
Correct. And what's really sad, and I'll wrap up with this, what's really sad is it's a hard, you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, as we say, because on one point you want the tourism because that's the financial economy, but then we can't afford to have these tourists coming in because they then might, ruin the country again. So it's like, it's going to be very tough. It's very tough and it's very scary.
But one thing I think the Caribbean countries though would do pretty good we're bouncing back because the fact that we normally go through natural disasters and stuff like that. I mean, and I think it's just a natural disaster in a different form. Like he said, like they got things put in place like the hurricane. Like, I mean, like that. I think that's a good way to put it for real. Like, you know, it's like Katrina's second coming, but like way different. I think that's probably like the last different thing when I said like a lot of countries was probably like affected by something like this for real. And yeah, man, good to hear your side of it for sure.
Yeah, bro, definitely. I just want to say, you know, thanks for coming out, Q. It's been really a pleasure having you. Like I now feel like I'm a part of the Bahamas now because I know now what you're going through, and it's just like it's a big eye opener. To be honest, it's gonna be tough. But thanks for coming on, man. For real, glad to have you.
Thanks, man. Thanks, JP. I appreciate it, man. Y'all keep on doing what y'all doing.
Definitely appreciate it, man. Like I said in the beginning, people got a story to tell. We're here to share it. This is a day in the life. We out.
Yo, me have to make some money. And me nah do nothing funny. Holy girl around me tummy. Make some money. Me nah do nothing funny. Be a girl want me feel my body. Make some green cheese, cheddar, cream. Doing on my pocket, me no give a damn, I got it.